This is the new import dialog interface with FileMaker 18. Be sure to check out the description for links to all of the new feature videos and the free course at Productive Computing University for all the videos in one place. This is certainly going to be one of your favorite new features if you do any importing at all, and there's too many things to list textually. You really need to see this visually. We're going to open up 17 and 18 side by side so you can really see how this works. I created a special layout so you can tell the difference between 17. If we look at this one is 17, so we'll open 18. And we have a layout for that one as well. Let's start with 17 with what you're familiar with. When we import, we'll do this error codes one. We'll talk more about those in the set error logging script step. So this is what you are familiar with, hopefully. Let's go to 18 and do the same thing. We'll choose the same file, and right away we have colors, we have icons, we have a whole new world here of things. We have choices, add, update, replace, and this gives you a visual of what you are doing, not just the textual representation. You get to choose fields, but you're adding to the table that you currently have. If you're going to choose update, then you're going to have this blue equal sign, and it's all within the table. If you're replacing, it's incremental, and you still get to choose the fields. I love this visual just as confirmation that you are really trying to accomplish that. So let's move these side by side and compare a few other things here. There are currently no records in this table, which is why we only have the option to add instead of those, but same thing over here. But you just don't know for sure if which one you want to choose. If you're just getting started, you haven't done this a million times. So this is very helpful to have those descriptions. So let's look at the table that we're actually bringing in so we can see what that looks like. I've got the code, I've got the details, and I have these two other fields. So there's only 4 fields per se, and the headers are actually in row 5, which could be a problem, but we only have 4 fields, so it's only showing 4 options. But over here it's showing all of the fields in the target table, and if I wanted this to be the code, I had to scroll down here and then drag this up. And where did it go? Oh yeah, I went up too far. You have to do it partially. Okay, there we go. Wait, no, I want the arrow there. And now we have the text, which I want that to be called error. So this was our previous way of doing that. And no, I don't want that. Seems exhausting, but look at this process here. You click on the field and all of these fields show up. So if I want this to be code like that over there, then I just choose it and there it is. I get to decide, do I want to import or don't import? Very cool to immediately see that, as opposed to which one is this? So we have to go down to the legend and see which one of these I want to choose. You also have the option to type ahead. If I want this to be error, when I start typing it, there it is. So I can just choose it. Anytime that you've had hundreds of fields, then you know it is so much nicer to be able to just choose them this way. And you may have noticed here, you cannot choose extra field. Now they have it grayed out over here, but it's just nicer that it's at the bottom. You can't do that. If I click on that, it's not letting me move that over. So a good description here, as well as a visual, which decreases the need for this additional line here. And of course, you can jump right to manage database if you wanted to add an extra field. And now we have our extra field. Now here we have our source fields here, but we would like to make it the field names, which in this one we can still scroll through and see, oh, here's the field names, but we can't do anything with this because it's only available for the first record. But here, if we find it, we can choose whether we want this to be data or use as field names, or we can say we want these to be used as field names, or maybe it's the first one. You can still do the first one, you just get to choose which one you want. So we'll go to the right one and choose use as field names. You may also notice we already have this perform auto enter options here. We don't have to wait for the next step, which is then going to ask for that. Here you get to choose it right away. So if we select this, we can see this changed up here. We can actually decide, no, I don't want to perform that one, but this is still kind of checked because you get your whole drop down. You can decide, no, I don't want to do this or the created by because that's already been determined. You get to choose here, and maybe you do want the auto ID put in place, and we want to change the import to be created by, but we don't want to do the auto enter. So we have different colors here. You've got the check boxes here. Very, very cool. So let's just click import and see what kind of difference we have in the summary report at the end. So we still have quite a few records that we're importing. And we get our summary as well as the details of why records may not have been imported. So let's do this again just so you can see how the next feature works. If we do update, we're going to need a match field here so we can choose, and now we have the match field option. And maybe we don't even need this here. We're just going to import the details. But I love the visuals and being able to see immediately what you're doing without looking at a legend or getting your glasses to see the small icons that are in black and white. I do want to point out one thing that does happen if you choose a different row than the first row to import as the field name, because if you notice, if we go to here, this is the one that we wanted to use as field names so that it matches. Well, look at the previous one now. It's marked as excluded. You can't even choose data here. You could choose as field names, but now you lose it for that one. So all of the fields, if you look through here, all of them say excluded. And if we look at the actual file, we can see that header, those field names started here, and the first record after that started with a 3, and there were 4 others above this. So if we canceled that for now, you can see that all of this started with 3. So it only imported everything after that header row, which may be what you wanted, but it also may not be what you wanted. There might be something else that you need to do to make that work the way you want. Now let's look at one more example that is kind of fun. Only this time we'll look at all available here. You can see we still have the familiar options, but if we do all available, and let's choose this one, a text one, right away we have the different icon, and maybe we want to add instead of update, but we have this field delimiter for source file. We have comma, semicolon, or space, and you can see how it affects it as you go. I don't have any semicolons there, but it thinks there's still 4 records there, comma. But you can even choose other. You can choose your own to see how that splits things up. We'll just put that into the extra field. Still can't put it in here, not letting us do that. Maybe we want all, maybe we don't want any of the auto enter options, and we import very quickly, of course. So all in all, some very cool changes. I thought I would also just show the WebDirect feature. So if we go to this same layout in WebDirect and we go to import records, we can't do the import in WebDirect, but we can actually do the script version. So I just have a very simple script set up which says import records, and we can choose a file. We'll choose the same error codes import, and the dialog is not quite the same as what we have in FileMaker Pro Advanced. It looks a little bit more like 17 at the moment. So you can import with a script, but it looks different in WebDirect. That is the import process now. Color, visuals, field names from any row, search or drop down field, choosing individual auto enter options, custom delimiters, all in all, very nicely done. Love this new feature. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the description for links to other new feature videos for FileMaker 18 and the free course at Productive Computing University for all of the videos in one place, as well as other courses to enhance your skills as a FileMaker developer.